The fate of the Aral is not dry statistics. It is a story of broken lives, abandoned villages, and generations who lost their destiny together with nature. The Aral is not a natural disaster. It is a mistake made by human hands. We cannot bring back the past, but we are responsible for the future. Even though the water has retreated, the people's voice has not. The truth is painful, but without truth, there is no future. The purpose of this film is not to search for the guilty. It is a message for those who can hear, a warning for those who can think. One day, the tears of the Aral will stop, if we can become the reason they stop. To see the current state of the Aral Sea, the film crew set out for Taspek village, located on the former seabed. Along the way, we traveled across the dried bottom of the sea. What was once a vast body of water has turned into mounds and hills. These are the traces of a sea that now exists only in history. Taspek is a small fishing village 90 kilometers from the city of Aral. 5 years ago, there were more than 30 households. Today, only 22 remain. The main livelihood here is fishing. As the sea moved farther away, the village lost its vitality. Some families have left. Even the primary school is on the brink of closure.
Balık avlap balıkçı oldum. Malçı oldum üç yerden. Ömür sürüp atırmış, mına tengizim susu.
I was born and raised in the village of Teistubek. 10 years ago, the sea was in good condition. Over the past 4 years, it has retreated by several kilometers. When the fish disappeared, the processing plant shut down. No jobs, no fish, no sea. Many people are leaving the village.
10 жылдай күрлеген жер еді, осы тұрғанда теңіз кеткелі адам саны азайды, ел азайып баратыр, үйлері орында тұр осы теңіз.
Once, in this village, a fish processing and storage plant worked non-stop from dawn till dusk. Today, its heart has stopped beating. The reason is simple. The sea that once overflowed with life is no longer there. And without the sea, there is no fish. A heavy black padlock hangs on the factory gates. What remains now feels like a place of ghosts, a silent reminder of a life that has vanished. Back in our childhood, the sea was right next to the village. Now it moves farther away every day. Fishermen still cast their nets along the shore, gathering whatever small share fate allows. Berzan is one of them. He continues his ancestral trade, hoping for the future of his children.
Osturganda қазір балық вообще жоқтың қасы теңізде. Осыдан 5-6 жыл бұрын осы жақында үй сатуға балық болған кезде келгенбіз. Қазір осыганда үйлердің бәрі қаңырап тұр.
5 years ago, I moved here following the shoreline of the sea. The situation is very difficult now. In just 1 year, the sea has retreated by up to 150 meters. There is almost no fish. We cannot provide for our children. We don't know what to do anymore.
Жаңағыдай көрдің ғой балықты көрдің. Күніге әйтеуір 10 мың теңге табамыз, 5 мың теңге табамыз. Майымыз бар, неміз бар әйтеуір.
According to experts, the sea's depth has decreased to 3 times. If this trend continues, we may lose the Aral completely within 10 years. Akbasti is a remote village located 230 kilometers from the district center. About 400 people live here. The main source of income is livestock breeding. Fishing has become a memory of the past. One who carries that memory is Solikan Smagilov, a veteran fisherman over 90 years old. Just talking about the Aral Sea leads nowhere. Saying that we can refill the Aral through the Sea Darya is nothing but an illusion. The only real solution is to divert water from the north through the old routes, via Kadim into the Aral. The northern regions receive heavy rainfall and snow. That water must be used. There is no other way. According to the elder, filling the Aral via the Sea Darya is a false hope. The riverbed lies lower, and much of the water is diverted to rice fields. To restore the sea, water must be redirected from the water-rich northern regions, he says. Karatiran was once a village standing right by the sea. Today, the shoreline has retreated dozens of kilometers away. Boats lie stranded on dry land. Fishing nets are covered with dust and wind-blown sand.
Көміздің бәрі бос тұр. Талай жерге айтылды, одан ешқандай нәтиже жоқ. Сонымен малдың жағдайы кеткен, адамның жағдайы да өте жағдай қиын. Енді ауылда қазір жұмыс көзі жоқ. Негізгі жұмыс көзі бізде балық шаруашылығымен айналысады. Балық теңізде жоқ. Балықта теңізде жоқ болғасын балдарымыздың бәрі осыған жан-жаққа.
There are no jobs in the village now. Our youth have scattered, wandering in search of work. The number of people leaving the village keeps growing. There is no water in the sea. The lakes are drying up. Livestock drinking water has become a serious problem. We are forced to water animals with the cerebolic drinking water that we ourselves use. If this situation does not change, I believe the sea will completely dry up within the next 10 years.
Қазақ мал жаның аман ба деп малымыздың жағдайы су болмағасын балымыздың жағдайы кетіп отырсаған. Тексеріп жүр осыған. Шын айтамын, ешқандай бұл жерде мен өтірік айтып, мен Құдай қинап отқан жоқпын. Шындық айтамын, көзім ауылдың халқына сөйлессең бәрі солай айтады. Қақсып отырмыз, қақсып.
The village's only lifeline is drinking water. As the sea dries up, salt storms intensify, and the air becomes increasingly arid. They say water is coming back to the Aral, and that people are benefiting from it. But in reality, this is not true. The sea is shrinking day by day. The people of Aral are not liars. We speak only about what we see with our own eyes. On our return trip to the town of Aral, even though it was night, we turned towards the village of EL-AMAN. We stopped at the sluice that sends water to the Aklak Dam here. There's only water in name. In the channel that should carry water to the lakes, there is none at all. The dark soil is exposed, and what used to be mud has dried and bleached. A social activist, Jomart Karbayev, claims that all the information circulating on social media and TV channels about water returning to the Aral Sea is false.
Өткен міне су жоқ. Осыдан су асып, Ағлаққа бару керек, ары қарай.
This is the crossing point. Through this channel, water should flow to the Aklak Dam and then into the sea. But there is no water here. The ground is exposed and dry. The media often reports that water has returned to the sea, but at the Aral fish market, most of the fish is brought in from other regions.
Ben Tarhan Bazarı'nda bal sattım, 20 жылдай bal sattım, қазір зейнеттен, сонда да қарап өтпейміз, бала шағаның қамы ғой деп жаңағы.
One have been selling fish at the market for about 20 years. Before, it was different. Now, fish from the sea itself are very few. Most of the fish sold here come from Dagestan, Aral, and Balkhash. We sell those fish to feed our families. They are opening fish processing plants one after another. But why? If there is no water and no fish in the sea, what I'm saying may be bitter, but it is the truth.
Erkim tırşılık üçün ediyor. Alt ercan, yemin kasıkbeler var, neden ekilet Atrau'dan, Dagestan'dan, sonu bak satmadık.
So which sea are they talking about when they say the waters have risen? This is one of the harshest forms of deception against the people. In recent years, the town of Aral has been developing, which is certainly encouraging. A beautiful and comfortable school complex has been built on the outskirts of the town. However, only about 500 meters from the school, there is a waste landfill where wastewater and dirty water are being dumped. According to Kazakhstan's environmental code, landfills should not be located near residential areas. This situation seems to contradict that regulation. A comfortable school has been built in an unsuitable location. There are citizens who openly speak about the Aral problem. Activists from the Public Association to Lowland and Aral Sea do not hide the truth.
Қазіргі таңда әлемде Арал туралы көптеген пікір және ақиқат көбейіп жатыр.
Today, there is a lot of false and misleading information about the Aral Sea circulating around the world. We are native residents of Aral. We also have our truth to say. Our position is simple. Donors who allocate funds to save the Aral Sea should open their offices in Aral City and work here. Only then will they see the real situation with their own eyes and understand the truth.
Filmdегі кадрды қарап өтсеңіз,
ақпараттарға сүйенсек, балықтың теңізде көптігі деген ақпарат, жалған ақпарат, қай нәрсені де жергілікті халықтан артық ешкім білмейді. Бұл жерде тұрақты.
Claims that there is water and fish in the sea today are false. No one knows this better than local residents. Many fishermen have left their boats on the shore and moved to other cities in search of work. They have abandoned their ancestral profession just to survive. Their hope that the sea will return seems to have faded.
өтірік ақпарат деуге болады.
барлығына көз жеткізсе дейміз, шетелдіктер болсын, осы аралды құтқару қоры. Сондықтан енді біз елдің жанашыры азамат ретінде.
As people who care deeply about the Aral, we believe that the International Fund for Saving the Aral Sea should open its office here, in our homeland. How can they solve Aral's problems while sitting in Almaty? Instead of endlessly building fish factories, they should build waste and garbage processing plants that would create jobs and improve environmental conditions.
Лас суларды ары қарай өңдейтін де сондай шағын нелерге ақша бөліп, яғни осы таза осы аралға көмектессе деген ойымыз бар.
There are citizens who openly speak about the Aral problem. Activists from the Public Association to on Lowland Aral Sea do not hide the truth.
Ассалаумағалейкум, қайырлы күн қазақ елі. Біздің бұл фильм түсірудегі негізгі мақсатымыз тырнақ астынан кіргізу емес, бүгінгі таңдағы Арал халқының, Арал теңізінің өңіріндегі әлеуметтік ахуалды, шынайы ахуалды жеткізу еді. Биылғы жылы Қазақстан Республикасының президенті Қасым-Жомарт Кемелұлының Біріккен Ұлттар Ұйымының
The purpose of making this film is not to hunt for the guilty or look for hidden faults. It is simply to see the current state of the sea with our own eyes and deliver truthful information to the public. On social media, bloggers, and on television, journalists are spreading false information. Who is providing them with these false reports? Recently, we sent official letters to the Prosecutor General's office and the National Security Committee, requesting that those responsible for spreading false information be identified and held accountable under the law. Watching the sea shrink and disappear before our eyes is deeply painful for us.
Құзырлы мекемелердің, мына заманауи блогерлердің беріп отқан елге ақпараттары теріс.
The Aral Sea was a blessing given by God to this land. It sustained not only fish, but an entire ecosystem. Today, salt and pesticides rising from the seabed pose a serious threat to human health. Yet life has not stopped. This journey was not only a trip to the sea, but a journey into the past. Each village is a memory. Each elder is an entire era. The truth is painful, but if we run from it, tomorrow will blame us. The Aral does not ask us for forgiveness. On the contrary, we are indebted to the sea. This film is a reminder of that debt. There is a day when the Aral's tears will stop, and bringing that day closer is in our hands.